Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here today. Today's video is going to be a fun one, but first let's do a joke. Why does Peter Pan always fly? He never lands. That was good. Honestly, that was fun. Woo! So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks again so much for being here today. Today's video is going to be a fun one because I'm doing the show me a book that prompt thing. So you put this question box up on Instagram and you say show me a book that, and then people say that made you cry, or that has blue on the cover, or starts with the letter Q. So they give you fun little prompts and then you answer them by going through your bookshelves. And I recently rearranged my bookshelves. I want one day to have a full yellow bookshelf. And so I was kind of there, not really half of a shelf. I got almost a full blue shelf. I really wanted to have my bust girl on full display. And I also got this cool new candle which looks like this, and it won't focus. So anyway, I just, when you rearrange the shelves, you want to show them off, and that's what I'm doing. So I got a bunch of prompts, and I'm really excited about it. But before we get into this video, let me thank the sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace.
All right, everyone, we're back with another Squarespace video. And if you can recall, my last Squarespace video, I talked about selling things on your website, which is here. But today we're going to talk about building your brand through email marketing. I am telling you, this is so cool because if you wanted to send out personal emails to whoever subscribes, you can see these really cool email layouts. You can see how easy it is to edit these so that they're more in line with your brand or your shop or your blog, whatever it is. And then from there, look at all this really helpful information like audience management, responsive design, integrated analytics. As someone who works in marketing, I'm telling you, this is so cool and simple to follow. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can go to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Noelle Gallagher to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
So let's get into it. We've got a lot. Some are really fun and unique. Some are sad and reflective. Some are all about the covers. Some are sentimental. So let's just dive right in and just take a look. We're going to start here. Show me a book that has pictures. Excellent idea, excellent thought, and kind of a hard prompt, to be honest. Here we go. Has pictures, huh? There should be one. Nope, all right. This one doesn't really have pictures, but there is a map on the inside, which is a picture, right? So you've got a single picture, but I think that counts. So there you go. All right, show me a book that's green. Because I just looked down here and I saw this one, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. We love a silky green moment, gives me atonement vibes. Made me cry, so this might double up as another prompt, which is show me a book that's made you cry. This one. It's green and it made me cry. And I've annotated it. So there you go. Just knocked out 3 prompts right there. Show me a book that is absolutely romantic and fluffy. Oh no, I know the answer, but I'm pretty sure it's in a stack, which is gonna suck to get down. All right, for this one, a romantic and fluffy romance, we've got Act Your Age, Eve Brown. Oh my God. If you've read this is not a spoiler. If you've read this, come with me. That moment with the moonlight glittering on the pond's surface, swans singing, you know what I mean? This is super fluffy, super romantic, super sweet, super steamy, and hilarious. So definitely that one for that prompt. All right, next we got show me a book that your mum got you. Love that. She's gotten me a lot of books, honestly, in my life. And oh, I found the one. The complete novels of Jane Austen. She got me this for Valentine's Day last year, I think. And I remember thinking it was the cutest little mother-daughter Valentine's Day gift because it was like a book, but it's also purple and it's like sweet. My mom introduced me to Austen and it was really cute. So love this, love the gold. I think it's stunning. Show me a book that you think Parker would love if he could read. Oh my God. What a good prompt. I'm scanning. It has to be one with food in it, because that is why he lives and breathes, just for a nibble of anything he can find. Okay, I don't want to take this one down because it's right here. But it's Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. And the reason why I say that is because Parker is hungry 24/7. And in that book, I remember there being really good descriptions of like stew and like dinners and like steak and potatoes. Yeah, there were like a few descriptions of like some really dense dinners that these characters were at, and I just feel like Parker is number one, kind of a pip, because he's kind of manipulative and really rude, but also he loves to eat, and there are some good descriptions of food. So Parker gets Great Expectations. Show me a book you're dying to reread. I know exactly the one because I put it on my April TBR, and that is The Kiss Quotient. I am going to reread this in April. I already talked about it. There's something about springtime, heat, warm weather that really reminds me of my first time reading this book. So with it warming up outside and also just like really wanting a romance right now, I just need something light and something distracting and fun. I am dying to reread this. I can't wait. Super steamy. Love it. And also, you know what I was thinking of doing? Now that we're on the subject, I was thinking of rereading Normal People a year later. So I read Normal People for the first time a year ago, and I didn't love the book, but I really loved the show. And I'm wondering if I reread it a year later after having time with the show and just time reading more books, will I like it more the second time? Let me know if you'd like to see that video. Maybe I can do a whole like reading vlog just around Normal People. Let me know if that sounds fun. But yes, this is the book I'm rereading in April. Really, really excited for it. Show me a book that made you fall out of love with reading for a while. Oh my God, what a good question. What a good question. A book that made me fall out of love with reading for a while was Bleak House by Charles Dickens. I've talked about this book too many times on my channel at this point. It's just like, it's like the punchline of all my jokes, and it just really didn't work for me. It is so long. So I read it for grad school, and if it wasn't assigned to me, I would not have finished it. I would have DNF'd it, honestly, by chapter 3. It was just not working for me. So I'm keeping it because you never know when you're gonna need to reference it, and I did annotate it. Oh my God, look, there's pictures in this one. Like the first prompt. Let me show you, We do have pictures in Bleak House, so that's excellent. But yeah, it was just, after I finished it, I was like, maybe I don't read for a little while because this wasn't very fun. And then I think I just needed a good distraction book. Like I just needed something in the complete opposite direction. And then I was fine again. But there was a minute there where I was like, that was not fun for me. Show me a book that reminds you of your significant other. Super cute. Love that question. I've got a couple. So the two books that really remind me of my boyfriend is Jurassic Park. I have not read this, and Jaws, which I have not read. I actually bought these books with the intention of reading them for like a reading my boyfriend's favorite books video. But then the summer ended and I was like, I guess I'm not doing that because I'm definitely not doing this during the semester. So yeah, these are two that remind me of my boyfriend, and I love that they're these really cool used editions. I think they're awesome. Show me a book that scared the shit out of you? Love this question. Oh my god, let me turn to my like thriller, horror, mystery section. Hold on real quick. I mean, is it even surprising? I'm almost, it's like I'm holding it like it's tainted. Yeah, it's this one. Really messed me up. I actually had my boyfriend read it, and because he also loves horror, but there's a moment of kind of like intense animal cruelty in it, which I completely forgot about when I recommended it to him. And that's something that like, it's not just something that really upsets him, it's something that makes him physically ill. Like he wants to throw up if he reads stuff like that or watches stuff like that. So when I read it, I kind of just was like speeding through it because I was like, this is really, really uncomfortable, but I'm just gonna get through it. And when he read it, he was like, I'm not finishing this. And I think he was almost a little annoyed with me for even recommending it to him. So, yeah, anyway, this one really messed me up. It's really gross. It's like looking at spaghetti is different now. You know what I mean? Yikes. You know? Great. Show me a book that makes you remember your childhood. It would be easy for me to just pick out the children's books that I was read as a kid, but I don't have them in this room. I have them in another room. And if we're talking about these bookshelves, what is one that reminds me of my childhood? You all gave me too difficult of questions. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Let's do this. Someone sent this to my P.O. box, which is amazing, and it is the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, which is, I mean, just an amazing copy. It has this really cool rabbit on the front. And it's really, really cool. This is actually one that I could have mentioned for the book with pictures prompt. This was sent to my P.O. box, and it was so sweet. I mean, it's such a gorgeous book. I just think it's so, so cool. So, yeah, this reminds me of my childhood. I haven't really watched Alice in Wonderland since I was a child because it wasn't one of my favorite Disney movies. But I have like distinct memories of watching Alice in Wonderland at my grandma's house. So that's how long ago I had watched that movie. Yeah. Alice in Wonderland. Show me a book you read in one day. Done. Passing by Nella Larson. I read this at the very beginning, I think like actually January 1st of this year. And I mean, it's super, super short. And I also got a really good audiobook with it. And I thought it was so good. The ending, so, you know, you're reading the story and you're like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Or, you know, I can just, you feel like you understand what's going on in the story. And then like the final 50 pages or even maybe like the final 30 pages, suddenly it like pivoted to going really fast paced. And I was like, what is going on? And then it got closer and closer to a direction I didn't expect it to go. And when it started moving in that direction, I was like, this cannot be possible. Like, there's no way this is gonna happen. And then it happens. And I was like, what is going on? In an amazing way. I thought it was so well done. I thought the writing was so good. And I loved actually that it went into this like direction I didn't expect it to go in. I don't want to spoil anything, but it was excellent and I did read it in a day. Show me a book that makes you want to go on holiday. I know it exactly. All right, so for this one, makes you want to go on holiday, it's got to be Shipped. This is kind of marketed as the Hating Game meets the Unhoneymooners, and it's about these two coworkers that are like forced to go on this cruise together so that they can write about the experience about being on this cruise together. Well, not together, but just like how it is being on this cruise. And they're both fighting for a promotion, but the way that the author describes like this tropical setting and being on this cruise that's like, it's more of an intimate cruise. It's not a huge boat. It's like a pretty small, intimate experience. And I just remember being like, get me a strawberry daiquiri, get me the sand, shed the sun. I'm trying to relax. So I think this is a great one for that one because when I was reading this, it was like right in the middle of December, I think. And I was like, why are you reading this right now? You should be reading this in the summer on a hammock in the sand. But anyway, I think this is an excellent one for this prompt because it did make me want to go on holiday. All right, next, show me a book that made you feel like you were losing your mind. Oh my God, I know it. I know it instantly. So for this one, I'm going to say Trust Exercise. And when I was reading it, I didn't know if I absolutely loved it or really didn't like it. It's one of those books that I think is brilliant. Like the way it's written is so fun and so intriguing, but it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to say this one, and I don't know if I recommend it to everyone just because I know it's going to be such a hit or miss with everyone. It would have to be like I only recommended it to people that I really, really know. Like I think I actually just told my friend August that she might like this. It's just really unique and it's really, really interesting just from like a stylistic perspective. But while I was reading it, I was like, how am I slightly not understanding this book? I'm totally, like, I know who the characters are, and I understand the setting, but, like, what is going on? And that's how this book made me feel. It's brilliant, but it, like, didn't completely make sense to me. All right, show me a book that has a huge plot twist that you didn't see coming. That I didn't see coming. You know what? I know the one, exactly. Sharp Objects. I technically saw the show before I saw the movie, or I saw the show before I read the book. And the closer you get to the end, so I had kind of made some guesses, and one of my guesses was right. But then Gillian Flynn does a really, really good job in the final few, episodes that I was watching, but also chapters when I read it, where she starts to confuse you. She starts to like kind of spin you around. So like you think you know, and then you get another person and you're like, obviously it's this person, then obviously it's this person. And so she starts mixing you up. And so I had guessed the person correctly way earlier in the book. And then by the end, I was totally convinced I was wrong. I was like, oh, never mind. I was so off. And then I ended up being right. But because of her writing, I couldn't even claim I knew what was coming at the end because of how good the ending was. So I don't recommend this book to everyone because there are really big content warnings for this one, especially with self-harm. But it really did get me in terms of a book that I did not expect the ending of and just like really caught me off guard. So yeah, this one's great for a really good twist in my opinion. All right, next one is show me a book you didn't expect to love as much as you did. And for this one, we are going with The Song of Achilles. I had seen this out in the world for so long before I had actually read it because I was like, Greek mythology, it's not my subject, I'm not going to understand. And then so I'd seen it like out at bookstores and I was like, not going to do it. And then I saw people talking about it and I was like, still, like, I'm not convinced that I'll be able to really understand this. And so I was like, still not going to read it. And then, I don't know, eventually something just snapped in me and I was like, I still don't think I'm going to get it, but I kind of just want to give it a try. And I picked it up and I absolutely loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. It is super heartbreaking. It makes a lot of people cry at the end. And so I'm so glad I picked it up. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you don't want to read this book because you're like, oh, I won't get it because of the mythology standpoint, the author makes it really accessible. She does a really good job at explaining the myths before she like really gets into them. And if there's like a new character that maybe you've like heard the name of, but you don't know who they are or what they're about, she did a really good job at like making that accessible and explaining it very briefly while keeping you engaged in the story. I thought it was so well done, and it was definitely a book that I was like not interested. Gave it a chance, loved it. Show me a book that made you angry. And I actually can't show it to you because I already gave it to my mom, so it's not here, but that is Ready Player 2. It was just like a book that I don't think needed to exist. And even if, okay, fine, you wanted to write a sequel to this like really fun kind of sci-fi book, Ready Player One. It's fine that like the story continued, but I just think that the way it continued was confusing and unnecessary. So by the end of it, I was just like, damn, I'm fine that you said more about this world and about this character. I just wish I liked it more, because I feel like it like didn't really, I just feel like it wasn't really true to the first one. So yeah. Show me a book you've read multiple times. You got it. I read it for 3 classes, and that is, let me grab it. Hold on. The Maltese Falcon. I read it at the beginning of grad school, and then I read it in another class for grad school, and then I read it as a TA for the first class that I took in grad school. So it is super annotated, so many tabs, and I had to present on it, and I feel like I have a very deep connection to this book. So, yes. Show me a book that's your favorite of the month so far. I know it exactly. All right, so this is a bit of a spoiler for the monthly wrap-up, but Everything I Never Told You was an instant 5 out of 5 for me. Like halfway through the book, I was like, oh, this is a 5 out of 5. And it was. It's so good. Like, it's one of those books where like the minute you finish it, you're like, but should I just reread it now since I know I'm going to super soon anyway? Like you close the book and you're like, why not start it again? I mean, it was so good. The conversation around sibling and family dynamics was incredibly interesting, and the writing was exceptional. So you'll hear more about it in my wrap up, but this is the best book I've read this month, but also one of the best books I've read all year. Show me a book that took you the longest to read. I know the exact one, and that is 1984. Started it in January, I think. Here we are in April, still haven't finished it. Haven't finished it to the point where it went back on the shelf, closed, under a bunch of other books. So I will read this one day, and I actually haven't taken it off my Goodreads currently reading, because I feel like if I do that, then I'm officially giving up, and I don't want to do that. But it's just like, it's a book, you know what I mean? It's not even that long, but I just feel like my mind has to be like in that space, and it's not right now. So yeah. All right, everyone, we're gonna do one final one. I'm just gonna scroll through. Show me a book feels the same way a chocolate chip cookie tastes. Oh my God, that's a good one to end on. And now, I kind of want to bake tonight. I know exactly the answer, and that is Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. This is the same author that wrote The Hating Game. And here's the thing. Not only is this just a super sweet romance, but it actually takes place at a retirement home, you know, like the kind of like grandparents, chocolate chip cookies, you know, whatever. And then also the leading lady takes care of the leading fella, and she like cooks for him and bakes for him sometimes, and like that's her way of showing like her sweetness to him. And so this definitely gives me chocolate chip cookie vibes. And I think that's a really sweet question and a really great prompt to end on. So there you have it, my friends. That is the Show Me a Book That video. I hope it was really fun. Let me know what any of your answers to these questions were. I mean, they're really, really fun. So especially any that have like really striking covers. Because if you have one that's just like the most beautiful cover you can think of, I will definitely look it up and bask in its glory with you. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!